Hey, what's up? This is Cyber Marcello Currents Rain back up in this anti-Illuminati all day, anti-telepathy all day, anti-America all day. Yeah. This message right here is for concerning Jay-Z with the Bonnie and Clyde remix with him and Beyonce. Okay. First, this is what I feel. You know you wasn't on good terms with this person when he passed away. So how are you gonna make an album about this? How are you gonna make a song with this dude remixing this dude's music? That's what I'm saying. And I just looked and seen that he put the video up like 3 weeks ago, something like that. How are you gonna remix that song and you know that dude ain't had no love for you? That's disrespectful. That's a move of trying to conquer somebody. Like you conquering that dude by doing his song. I mean, that's how some people would take it. And so yeah, if the dude had problems with you before he passed away, if he had problems with you before he passed away, you shouldn't have been doing it. You should know that's how it. You can't say you can't choose to unite or do anything with that man's likeness. Anything you can't unite with his likeness in any kind of form of fashion. When you when he died, clearly with y'all having no peace or love between each other. That's disrespectful. You just assuming that he would have been feeling you. You just assuming that he would have been like that would have been cool. You knew you and him wasn't on good terms. So why are you doing this music? Everybody know how Pac was. He would have not wanted his music remixed. He would have not wanted his music remixed by some rival that he didn't make it right. That they didn't talk and fix the situation. He wouldn't have wanted his music remixed with them people. That's the bottom line. And everybody know how Pac was. We don't. I don't know him. I didn't know him necessarily personally, but we know enough of his perspective to know that wouldn't have happened unless they talked and it was made right. See the difference between the other people he was feuding with. Obviously, we all know Nas and Jay Z talk. I mean, Nas and Pac talk. That's what the history is. But Jay Z and Pac did not talk. Okay? So if that's the way Pac died, how is it years later that Jay Z is making remixing his music? That's disrespectful, man. Just take it for what it is. You didn't receive the love. You were not on the love list. And you trying to make it that way, that's not what it was. That's not what it was. That's not what it was. Okay? So that's the reality. You can't make your own reality up. You talk about not being in fairy tales and being about real life. That's real life. You and Pac were not on good terms when he passed. You should just leave it at that. Say what you feel, how you feel, the positive things and all of that. Say how you feel, but realize y'all didn't make it right, and that's just what it is. That's a part of conflicts and situations. That's a part of it. Sometimes, unfortunately, you don't get to make it right. So you can't make it right and force to make it right when he died like the way he did and y'all didn't make it right. And he couldn't stand it so much that that's part of the history. That one of the greatest, Pac, died with him not having the right, with Jay-Z not having the right with him. That's the history. Ain't nothing he could do about that. He can't make up a song and talk about and act like him and Pac was good. They were not. And it's disrespectful to his catalog. It's disrespectful to the legacy of Tupac to remix his song knowing you was one of his enemies. For whatever reason, you were one of them. Period. That's how it is. That's how Pac died. You were an enemy, whether you like it or not. So because he couldn't stand it, probably being the egotistical person he is, he gonna go remix his song like it's all good. And that's not how it ended. It did not end like it being all good with him and Pac. Yeah. And if anybody else would have did that, y'all would have felt that was disrespectful. Yes, y'all would have. If you knew certain people had rivals, let's say for instance, somebody did Big's music that was an obvious rival. That's no disrespect to Big at all. But I have to make a big example. I have to use a big example. If somebody did Big's music over, right? And they were apparently enemies before he passed away, how would y'all feel about that? That's disrespectful. You seen how it was. You knew how it was. It wasn't no love. So why is you doing his music over? Why is you recreating his music and you know the terms of how it was when he died? When he died, you know the terms y'all was on. That's real. How would you feel somebody did your music over and y'all never made it right? And you passed away and they did your music over with someone else? You wouldn't be, nah, man. Nobody ain't feeling that. And just so happened it looked like he made a video or re-released a video under his page 3 weeks ago. Maybe that wasn't his page, but somebody released a video 3 weeks ago, ironically, coincidentally. And that's disrespectful, man. This is the same person that referenced himself like Jesus Christ. We crack cocaine. Jay-Z talking about Jesus, the white Jesus and the black Jesus, and all he had to do was turn the stove up and all of that on Devil Is a Lie. Even disrespecting Jesus Christ, man. You know what I'm saying? This is to me, that's a narcissistic type of person. It's not cute. This is a narcissistic type of person, man. You're not God, bruh. I'm sorry to bust your bubble. You're not God. Okay? You're not anywhere near God. You're not even a disciple of Jesus Christ. You're not even a servant of God. And you jumping over being a servant of God and comparing yourself to Jesus. Come on, man. Nobody's feeling that, man. Nobody's feeling that. I don't care who feels any kind of way. Who cares how y'all feel? I don't care. I don't personally care how you feel. You are a human being. You don't put no fear, strike no fear in my heart. That's for any of y'all. Y'all don't strike no fear. I live my life like this. That's the difference. I live my life like this. I'm trying not to be nasty at the same time. Just straight out nasty. But make no mistake, bruh, I don't have no fear at all. You know, and that's real. Because everything these guys pertain to be, I done been around killers like I told y'all, right here in New York. So how would I look like done been around people that done actually took people's lives? Not rapping about it, done actually did it. Not the potential, done actually did it. Those have been my acquaintances. Okay? And it wasn't because I was a rapper, and it wasn't because I was famed and all of this. I grew up shooting guns as a boy. Okay? squeezing gun triggers. That's all you need to know. Grooming, having my mind groomed through the process of willing to pull a trigger. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So that all being said, I'm just letting people know, it like y'all fear other people. That's you. That's you. That's you. It ain't nothing. I don't have anything to fear. And you shouldn't have anything to fear. You can't speak your mind to people and keep it 100 about things. I'm sorry, that's not the way to live. And I know for a fact, the personality of Tupac would not be feeling somebody doing his music over that he had problems with. He would not be feeling that. And y'all sit up with y'all goofy self, sitting up listening to you goofy. Goofy as a mud, bruh. You goofy as a mud. Knowing Tupac wouldn't be feeling that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. This is a person that is well respected in your community. Tupac Shakur is very respected in your community. You got somebody that he had a problem with remixing his music. If Bob Marley had some music, he had an enemy, right? If Bob Marley had an enemy that was an apparent enemy, okay? And he stopped doing music. Would y'all be at peace with one of his enemies, apparent enemies that he made clear for whatever reason? Would y'all be cool with them doing his music over? Y'all wouldn't be cool with that. Man, come on. Y'all would not be cool with somebody doing Bob Marley's music over. And that was an enemy. You would not be feeling that. You would not be feeling that. Y'all telling me y'all be good with that. You would not be feeling that. That's the bottom line, man. Sometimes some things can't be undone, man. And life goes on, man. You know what I'm saying? Y'all didn't get to make it right. You didn't get the closure. You know, you got to find another way to get closure. You didn't get the closure that you wanted with somebody that you respected, obviously, doing his music over, so you obviously respected him. And you didn't get the proper closure, and you went back and wanted to do his music. And the community had nothing to say about that. Now, like I said, if that was Bob Marley music, y'all would have had a problem with that. Y'all would have had a serious problem. Y'all would have wanted to, y'all would have sued the people. Come on, man. Y'all would have sued them people. You telling me I'm lying? Y'all would have sued the crap out of them people. Somebody that was an apparent enemy of Bob Marley, you wouldn't be having that. But yet, Jay-Z was an apparent enemy. And he didn't want to go out like that. He didn't want it to end he didn't want that to be the history. And it's not right when he took and remixed somebody else's ideas. When that music he did, him and Jay-Z wasn't on good terms. So that whole idea, the whole melody, all the lyrics and everything, they were not on good terms. And you're gonna take the music, at least do some music when y'all was not, when Tupac didn't have a problem with you. At least go back further than that. You're gonna make music when he's apparently having a problem with you? Go back and do some of the other stuff. All Eyes on Me, when he didn't really know who you was. Or when there was no apparent problem. Let's say that. You know what I mean? But he goes and remix a song when Tupac's heart was not with that man. Tupac's heart went with that man when he made Me and My Girlfriend. Pac's heart wasn't with that man. Now, if you're gonna do something over, for whatever reason, go do something that when his heart wasn't wrong with you. when his heart was not against you, better to say, go do some of those. Go remix one of them songs. Because it's a red flag when you know the man heart wasn't with you. His heart was not with you, bruh. And you gotta accept that. Ain't nothing you can do about it. Ain't nobody can say, oh, Jay-Z and Pac got them, they made it right. I ain't never heard that. I have never heard that. Therefore, why are you remixing that man's music? Because people could take it either one way. Okay, it's respect, or people could feel like it's disrespect. So out of wisdom and out of respect for Tupac and his catalog, I wouldn't have done it. You know, this man ain't really like you like that. That's real, bruh. And that's still the history. That's still how it is. Whether you did that, you could remix a million songs. You and Pac were not on good terms, bruh. You could remix a million songs. Y'all were not on good terms. Okay, you need to find another way to get closure. You know, for real, bruh. Am I right or wrong? Him and Tupac were not on good terms. We all know through Pac's music and interviews how passionate he was about his enemies. So can you imagine Tupac allowing that? Let's just say he went to jail. Let's just say he went to jail instead of dying, right? Let's just say he went to jail instead of dying, right? How you think Pac would felt in prison knowing Jay-Z remixed his music and they ain't on good terms? Jay-Z, let's just say Jay-Z couldn't talk to him, couldn't communicate with him, but then he redo his music. What's the difference? You know Pac wouldn't be feeling that because they wasn't on good terms. They were not on good terms. You know he wouldn't be feeling that. He would be hollering and screaming from jail, hollering and screaming from prison, talking about how Jay-Z is remixing his music. Yeah, man, you can't just do what you want to do, man. That's going over. That's crossing boundaries, man. Principle boundaries, man. Life principle boundaries. Unfortunately, man. A good brother you was on bad terms with. I understand you like him and you wanted to make it right, but you didn't get the chance. That's too bad, bruh. You didn't get the chance to make it right. You gotta leave it there. You can't go playing around people's stuff and trying to make it right on your own. Trying to make it right for both parties. You don't have that right, bruh. I'm surprised Tupac fans didn't really say nothing about that. You don't got no right to do that, man. Unless that man made it right, y'all wasn't on good terms. And there's nothing you could do about it. Maybe you should have tried harder. Maybe you should have tried harder to make it right while he was alive. But now that he's gone, you know, it's not fair to be snooping and playing around with that man's life, like his stuff. Because everybody ain't looking at it the same. Everybody's not looking at it like, oh yeah, he that's respect to Tupac. A lot of people not feeling like that. And these the people that claim to know all the street rules and all of these things. Guys, can we agree, by street rules, nobody will be feeling an enemy doing their music, bruh. That's real, bruh. These feelings run real. These feelings are real. These feuds are real. These ain't high school feuds. So, do you think that you all know all these street referees, these hood referees? Let's pull the referees out. Y'all always want to come out for something and try to see what's going on. Come out for this. Okay? Because we all know if somebody violated somebody felt some type of way, then doing their music as far as rappers is off limits. Period. If that man can't speak for himself to say it's good, then you can't call it good. Yeah. That's just like anything among gangsters. Okay. You got two gangsters. One of them died. Now the other one that's alive start playing around his life, you know what I'm saying? doing this, that, and the third. Y'all gonna feel some type of way. Like, bruh, y'all wasn't even like, bruh, y'all was not like that. It didn't end like that. You know what I'm saying? But that's the ego of this person. This is the ego of this guy. You know what I'm saying? That you so blind to what actually the history was that you remixing a song by somebody wasn't even on good terms with. How's that hating, man? That's people who got love for Pac, man. Like, man, Pac was not feeling that guy, man. That's real, man. We that's how it ended. We can't say what it could have been. No one can write the history after Pac done passed away. We don't know what would have became of them. They could have became worse enemies. We don't know. You can't assume they would have worked it out. They could have had a worse problem than Pac had with Big. You don't know how this would have turned out. So no one has the right to sit up and write extra history like it's all good when you're remixing people's music that you wasn't good with when they passed away. Where's all the hood politics right there? Ain't that much money to disrespect somebody's legacy, man. I don't care what nobody says. Ain't nobody that big to disrespect somebody's legacy like that. That's real. You can't make it right because you want to. You don't know if that person would have ever been good with you. He might have just never liked you. How about that? Besides that, he might have just never liked you. That's real. What can you say to that? Hey, he don't like you, he don't like you. And you acting like that was like he liked you like enough, you know what I'm saying? You don't do somebody's music that don't like you and they passed away. Yeah, man. I don't feel bad about that. I do not feel bad about that. Because I'm talking about things that other people did. I'm talking about things they did. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about common sense things that we all can understand that's understandable what I'm talking about. We all know what I'm talking about. So, ain't nothing to read into. It ain't nothing to read into. I'm not jealous of nobody's success. Just so people know. Now, I got to say that, man. Because when it comes to the top, that's the first thing people want to say. That's the first thing people want to say. Oh, you salty. Why I'm salty? I don't want to be that. I don't want to be a rapper. Not anymore. It has nothing to do with that. It has the fact that, you know what I'm saying, I have a lot of respect for the intellect of Tupac. I have a lot of respect for his intellect. Not just the gangster part. The intellect. You know what I mean? And for someone to come in and he was his mind was geared towards not liking you, and you turn around and do his music, bro. I'm not feeling that. You know what I'm saying? You're creative enough to do other things. You claim to be the greatest and all of this. Do other things, okay? Leave that man music alone. Dang. Let that man rest, cuz. Let him rest up, bruh. For real, man. I'm not trying to pick on nobody. If you wouldn't have did that, I wouldn't have said nothing. If you wouldn't have said nothing about Jesus Christ, I wouldn't have said nothing. I wouldn't have said nothing. The other time. These are things that he's doing. These are things he's done. I'm not looking at where, like, you know, looking at his catalog and seeing where I can pick on him, looking at his moves and see where I can pick on him. These are obvious things that are dear to me. Jesus Christ, okay, me being a Christian, that and someone I grew up on. Because the difference between me and these other guys that immortalized Tupac, that was the soundtrack to our music, to our life. You know, I was 16 listening to Tupac. Some of y'all were 20 and 30 years old. You know what I'm saying? Some of y'all was in y'all 30s. Let's keep it 100. Ain't nothing wrong with that, but that's where y'all was at. I was a kid listening to Tupac. That's the difference. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference. That's really not even, that's beyond being a fan. That was the soundtrack to your life without you trying. That kind of thing. They were just good rappers. To us. Tupac was just a good rapper. And I'm not saying, that's not obviously not taken away from him. I'm just saying, we wasn't immortalizing them and all of this, what these other people are doing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm real down to earth with this, with this, you know, what I'm talking about. This is a down to earth perspective, looking at things, and y'all got this glitz and all of this other ways of looking at it. You know, and it ain't no other way, man. You know, you got to stop being scared of people, man. That's why the community is the way it is. Y'all scared of the stars. The stars are scared of you. They're scared they're going to say the wrong thing and offend the black community and get canceled. You scared of each other. That's the problem. That's why there's no correction. You know what I'm saying? There's no one. I mean, and look, if it's the truth, it's the truth. It don't matter whether you respect the person or not. The truth is the truth. That's the bottom line, man. And they wasn't on good terms. And y'all sitting up trying to make, and y'all sitting up and entertaining that. That don't even make no sense musically. How does it make sense musically when in the same album, at the beginning of the album, he's mentioning Jay-Z as one of his enemies? In the same album now. Tell me how that makes sense. Come on, man.